You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Bermel.
Thanks for joining us for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Bermel, joined by our radio executive producer, Ethan Euchre.
Here as always, and happy to be here.
Yes, and we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute. Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you.
Well, you know, every week we talk about the differences between the Bonati spine procedures and everything else out there on the market. Now, what's different about the Bonati spine procedures is they are patented, exclusive, targeted procedures that can pretty much pinpoint the exact root cause of the pain and then get rid of it for the patient. And you hear a lot about minimally invasive, and that's basically a buzzword. Everyone tried to jump on the bandwagon in an effort to replicate what Dr. Bonati brought to spine surgery, but unfortunately they don't have the success rate. And we used to say nearly half the patients that we see had suffered with previous failed surgeries elsewhere. Well, that number is now close to 60% of the patients that come through the door.
That's unbelievable.
It is.
And to clarify just what that statement means, we say it all the time, but if that's the first time you're hearing that, that means the patient went somewhere else first,
Had spine surgery.
and it failed. Then they have to come to Dr. Bonati and his surgeons to fix it.
Yes.
And that's 60% of our patients.
Yes.
Had bad, failed surgery somewhere else.
Yes, and that's traditional spine surgery and minimally invasive and sometimes laser spine surgery. So don't let those two buzzwords confuse you when it comes to the Bonati spine procedures and other things on the market. We always say imitation is the biggest form of flattery, but when it comes to your back, the real thing will bring real results.
Yeah, this isn't like buying, generic laundry detergent to save a few cents.
True.
When it comes to your body and your
Yes.
back, you want to go to the top of the line, and that's Dr. Bonati.
Yeah. Well, on today's show, we have an exciting lineup. We're going to speak with the Director of Research and Development of Limitless Solutions, John Sparkman, and he's going to explain their 3D printed prosthetics and how they're giving them away for free.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. And if you're listening or watching, you probably, chances are, have seen some of these videos that have gone viral where they deliver them to these kids that need arms. Yeah. There's themes to them. One of them was
Robert
an Iron Man.
Downey Jr.
Yeah, one was an Iron Man theme, and Robert Downey Jr. actually was dressed as the character Tony Stark and delivered. It's really cool stuff that they're doing.
Great things they're doing. And then we have Dr. John Goodman, Independent Institute Senior Fellow and author of A Better Choice, Healthcare Solutions for America. So that should be a truly exciting discussion.
Indeed.
And then, of course, we'll hear what's new in American medicine today. But up first,
In today's Back to Life segment, we will talk to a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute who went from living a life that was restricted by pain and discomfort through their journey of finding the Bonati Spine Institute and are now living pain-free.
well, today's segment's a teeny bit different because the patient themselves unfortunately passed away back in 2010, I believe. So joining us, we have her husband and caregiver, Mark Kent, and he can attest to what the Bonati spine procedures, how they helped her and helped him because, as a caregiver, it affects their lives too. And they see a totally different side sometimes than the person that's actually feeling the pain. So I'd like to welcome Mark Kent. You live in Newport Richey, Florida. So thank you for joining us.
You're good. Yep, go ahead. How you doing, Mark?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I think this is an interesting angle, because we always speak with the patients themselves and hear their story. And we always ask, too, how did it affect your family?
Yes.
How was your spouse dealing with you in pain? So now we can actually sort of get that perspective. So, Mark, why don't you start from the beginning? Your wife's name was Patricia, correct?
Yes.
And how did she start experiencing back pain?
She was working at 7-Eleven, and she was loading the coolers. Customer came in. She turned the wrong way, and her back popped inside. Then she went through workman's comp, and the first surgery she had left a hole in her spine.
Ooh. Well, you jump ahead a little bit. She twisted her back.
That's
And
correct.
when what type of pain was she feeling at that time? Because obviously we've all done things where we felt a twinge.
A lot of times it goes away. I mean, I know I've done stuff to my shoulder and my neck and it'll go away, but that clearly wasn't the case with Patricia, right?
No, it wasn't. She had pain going down her legs.
Okay.
Back was very swollen.
Ooh.
Very painful. Couldn't move.
So obviously you mentioned that she had surgery elsewhere. Did they say what she had done to her back? Did they say what was affected?
She had herniated disc.
Okay. And did she go through what they call traditional spine surgery at the time?
3 of them.
Okay.
And do you know exactly kind of what they did, again, at another facility for these 3 procedures?
They just did just ordinary back surgery, and
Okay.
and the first surgery left a hole in her spine.
Wow.
Ooh.
So clearly she felt no pain relief. It was what would be classified as a failed back surgery, correct?
It was definitely worse, and the hole in her spine was leaking spinal fluid, and she'll pass out and hit the floor.
Ooh. Okay. And how long did she suffer in pain before she sought out that surgery?
I think it's at least about 2 years.
Okay.
And how long was that dural tear there? For how long?
It was there for that full time, her first surgery.
So she was passing out all
Yes.
the time.
Every once in a while. It wasn't all the time, but it was quite frequent.
She had bad headaches.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, what would cause that, Doc? Obviously, how does the leaking spinal fluid cause one to pass out?
Well, what happened is that you have fluid that covers the whole neurological structure, covers the brain, and the cord. And when you have a rupture there, it's like you have a balloon that has a leak. Or you put the needle on the balloon, then you start to lose fluid.
Right.
But then what happens is if you lose enough of that fluid, the tension of the dura disappears, and then you have part of the dura sitting on the brain.
Right.
That produce horrible headaches. I mean, they cannot stand up.
Wow.
They have a frontal headaches. And it's like very similar than when you have freeze brain.
Brain
When
freeze?
or brain freeze.
Yeah.
They would probably say freeze brain in Europe.
Right. Right. Yeah.
In America, it's
Well,
brain freeze.
is a type of a pain that there is very little tolerance for, and patients immediately they understand that they need to lie down on the bed because that's the only way that the thing makes them feel better.
Right.
But
Gotcha.
if you force them, then they lose conscious
I see.
and can develop problems associated with damage on the brain.
Gotcha.
Okay. So when she was passing out, what did you guys do to try to remedy that?
She had other back surgeries, and it still
Okay.
didn't help.
Got it. What happened at that point? Did she try chiropractic care, physical therapy,
They did all that.
and nothing?
And none of it works.
None of it worked.
Okay.
And how did you respond to this? I mean, that must have been tough on you, having a wife
Yes,
who
it was.
she was essentially wheelchair bound at one point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And how did you deal with that?
You just had to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, that probably had to limit some of the maybe entertainment or different activities you guys used to do
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine that's got to be difficult. So how did you guys hear about Dr. Bonatti?
We lived in Hudson at the time,
Okay.
and it's right around the corner from there. And the insurance company figured to give him a try.
Okay.
Okay.
When both you and your wife arrived at the facility, what was that experience like, and the evaluation with Dr. Bonatti?
It was very impressive. When you walk in the building, it's really, you feel like you're at home, and it's really very nice facility.
When, if there were any MRIs or different things you had done there, once that was done and you met with Dr. Bonatti, can you kind of explain that evaluation process?
He told my wife what he was planning to do and how he was going to do it, and she came in a wheelchair, and she walked out of there.
Okay. Did you feel as though Dr. Bonatti understood where the onset of her pain was?
He knows exactly where it is. his technique is very superior to anybody else's.
And a lot of experience that patients have when they come to sit down with Dr. Bonati or Dr. Grossmith or any one of the surgeons there is they don't want you to tell them where the pain is. They want to look at the MRI and tell you where the pain is and make sure that that's accurate. Was that what happened in this case?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
So what happened in this case?
That's okay. Go ahead. How was the evaluation process with your wife? Did she tell him where the pain was, or was he able to?
He knew just by looking at her where the pain was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When why don't we talk about the surgery? She obviously knew that she wasn't going to be put under general anesthesia and that she would be able to communicate during the procedure.
That's correct.
How did she describe that to you?
She says it was a little bit painful, but she felt relief as soon as it was done.
Okay, as soon as it was done?
Yes.
And how did that make her feel? Because she was suffering with pain for so long.
Relief.
How did you notice a change in her?
Not, just can see it on her face.
Was she able to start doing some of the things that she was unable to do previously when she had herniated her back?
Yes.
Okay.
And so how did life change after having these procedures done at the Bonati Spine Institute?
It was almost like night and day.
Yeah.
Things have really improved.
Yeah. We hear a lot from patients and sometimes the caregiver that they noticed a difference because they saw a happier side. It felt like they got maybe the wife or husband back in a way that they hadn't been during that time of pain. Because we all know if you're in pain, sometimes you're very angry and it doesn't matter what it is. Unfortunately, when you're around the significant other, normally they bear the brunt of that.
That's very true.
And unfortunately, since then, obviously, you said this happened back in the 80s. Your wife has passed, but after these procedures were done, did it improve her quality of life, at least, for the time being?
Yes, it did.
Okay. And is there anything you'd like to say to Dr. Bonati?
Every person I see that's in a wheelchair or in crutches that has back problems, I recommend them. I've been doing it for years.
Thank you, Mark. Tell me something. What happened to Patricia?
She passed away. She had a kidney problem.
Okay. So I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
How many years after we fixed her?
She died in 2010.
I think I saw her on the 80s, am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we truly appreciate you taking the time to come out and voice her story and let us know the caregiver's perspective and how it had made your life better during that time.
Yep. It sure did.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for stopping by, Mark.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
If people want to get in touch, how do they do so, Kimberly?
Well, they can reach out to the Bonati Spine Institute at 855-267-0483, or, of course, they can visit Bonati.com. Coming up after the break, we're going to speak with John Sparkman of Limitless Solutions regarding their 3D printed prosthetics. Make sure you stay tuned. You're listening to American Medicine Today. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years, and it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results, no pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone, nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now, I can garden, I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome has been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thanks for joining us for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by our radio executive producer, Ethan Euchre.
Here as always.
Junior Mint and senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff.
Stepping in off of the disabled list for today's show.
All right, he's feeling better.
You're still half disabled from what I hear,
yes.
But you'll be okay. He's been sick for the past few days.
I know,
so.
sinus infection.
And you better keep that mung away from me.
That's what I'm thinking. He's sick all the time. What are you talking about?
we need him behind glass.
Man hugs for everyone after the show.
He needs like a buffet sneeze guard around him.
We do.
That's what Jeff needs.
Either he does or we do, one of the two. And then we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon in the red headphones. World-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute.
I don't know why you changed these headphones.
I stole his headphones, okay?
I feel so
violated.
You do, but that's okay.
And a little bit weak.
Don't worry, there are teen girls all across the country that have the same headphones.
Exactly, that's it.
I bought them for me,
That's
folks.
my feeling right now.
Anyway, we have an amazing
so
guest
give me
on the
my
line.
phones back.
After the break.
After the break, we will.
Great minds think alike.
Indeed.
Anyway, on the line we have John Sparkman, Director in Research and Development at Limitless Solutions in Orlando, Florida. Now, they use 3D printers to make a bionic prosthetic arm for disabled children, and several of their creative deliveries of these limbs have gone viral, giving them global attention. So thank you for joining us, John.
Yes, thank you.
John's like, what kind of circus did I join when I agreed to come on this show? Hey,
I don't know, John, but I'm telling you something. I feel abused. They give me a pink headphones.
Pink is the new black.
But you know what? He would like this because he's in with working with disabled children, and children like beautiful colors, and they certainly, when they've been injured, are loving these bionic prosthetics. So why don't you describe more about what Limitless Solutions does
and how
they're able,
together.
How they're able to give these away.
Oh, yeah. So actually we have a website, and how we give them away is like people come to the website and they fill out a form saying like how old their child is, and there's a certain age limit we work with. It has to be about 5 years old.
Sure.
And after that, like we go through the process of seeing what actually they need and how difficult it is. And right now we only do it has to be a certain length before we can help them out, because what we have is not available for every person, but
Sure.
every child is unique, and we try to help as many people as we can.
Okay.
And definitely the kids love something that's artistic and has different looks to it. The more artistic it is, the more they love it. When we gave Alice his first arm, it was very bland and very generic looking, and like a week later we came back and he had it all colored up and had different colors all over the place. It was definitely something something cool to see.
And Alex was the Iron Man one, right?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
You must have a heck of a PR team to be able to get in touch with Robert Downey Jr. If people haven't seen it, the video went viral. Basically,
this was so sweet.
The folks at Limitless made an actual bionic Iron Man type prosthetic and got Robert Downey Jr. somehow to dress in character as Robert Stark, who was Iron Man, and bring it in a briefcase. Tony Stark. The actor's name is Robert.
Yeah.
But how did you guys arrange that? That was amazing.
We got in touch with, or actually the collective project with Microsoft is how we got started with that. People from Possible got in touch with Robert's agent and asked him if he wanted to do it, and he said, "Yeah, man, well, let's do it." And then, we had a bunch of requests for him, like, "Can you do it at Tony?" And he was okay with that. Also, we got in touch with Marvel to make sure it was okay that we did the Iron Man stuff, and so they brought Tony's arm out there as well. And so, yeah, we had a great time on set in Atlanta. I mean,
so cool.
Everything was great.
You guys are changing the lives of these children because through some tragedy, they lost their limb. Your company was great enough to make these 3D printer prosthetics. And you're changing their lives because you're giving them their motion back. You're giving them their lives back.
We do use a 3D printer to actually print the arms, and it gives us a ability to rapid print and rapid prototype. And not only that, we are able to customize it to each child.
Right.
A lot of these childs, they are actually born with this deficiency. They're not. They don't actually lose their. Some of them actually didn't lose their limb.
Got it.
It was just they were born that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then we give them the ability to instead of being asked, like, "Oh, what happened to your arm?" and get bit off by a shark, we give them the chance to be like, "Oh, man, your arm is so cool. How does it work?" And, Alex himself and a couple of the other children, they're like, "Oh, yeah, it works by EMG." I'm like, "How do you know what EMG is?" And he can tell you all about it, how it works, where to put the wires at. He's become, him and other children have become more intellectual and wanting to gather that knowledge. So it's great to see that as well.
Yeah, some of these are really cool, John. Again, John Sparkman with Limitless Solutions. You guys are a part of UCF in Orlando, and you guys recently made your way out here, I think, for your most recent delivery, which was to a girl named Annie who loved Dolphin Tale and Winter the Dolphin. Tell us a little bit about that. I saw the video, and I'm a cold-hearted SOB, and it made me tear up a little bit. It was very touching.
Yeah, that was great. So that was a month and a half ago. Her parents got in contact with us a while back, and we were like, yeah, we have no problem helping you out. And then they came to Florida to see her daughter who lives here. One of her daughters lives here. And so we went to Tampa to see them from Orlando. And then we got some measurements, and then we tried to do something significant for her too, because she loves the outdoors, and she said she wanted a beach theme arm, and we're like, how do we do a beach theme arm? We got all these artists going together, and they're like, yeah, we don't know what to do. So we're like, let's do something, has like petals floating in the water looking, and let's get the Dolphin Tail. Let's get the Winter the Dolphin to do this, and that'd be great. And so yeah, we had the plan, and then we went for it, and we got it.
It was really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so if people haven't seen that video, they need to check that out.
Let me ask, what made you want to get into doing this, to creating those limbs?
So Albert Monero actually started this whole project when he was late for work one day. I don't know if y'all have heard the story. I've heard it a million times.
No.
But he was late for work one day, and he was in the car, and then on TED Talk, Ivan Owen came on and was like, he was talking about how he makes 3D printer prosthetics for children. And Albert's like, I got to get involved. He went to his research lab, and that's where it started from. He came into the machine lab one day here at UCF, and he had this just this hand. And he's like, I want to put this on a child with no arm, completely no arm. And we're like, yeah, the hand is not going to work. And he's like, I want it shoulder actuated. And we're like, I don't know how that's going to work either. So we just got together one day, and we all just went along, and we figured it out one step at a time.
It's pretty incredible. And I know, unfortunately, we're out of time there, John, but we're going to try to arrange a visit to the UCF campus and check out you folks at Limitless Solutions. And what's the website again if people want to check out some of these great videos?
You can go to 3dhope.com or limitlesssolutions.org.
3dhope.com. Got it.
Thank you for joining us. John Sparkman, Director of Research and Development at Limitless Solutions in Orlando, Florida.
Great work. Have a great day, John.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Amazing things we feature here on American Medicine Today. If you or someone you know is suffering with neck, back, or sciatic pain, reach out to the Bonati Spine Institute, 855-267-0483, or visit Bonati.com. Coming up after the break, we have Dr. John Goodman regarding his new book that offers a better choice than Obamacare. Make sure you stay tuned. You're listening to American Medicine Today. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for still continuing to listen to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by our radio executive producer, Ethan Euchre.
Happy to be here.
Our senior fellow, better known as Junior Mint, Jeff Wagstaff.
Where did Junior Mint come from?
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's fitting.
Yes. And then we have, well, because you're junior, he's senior. Oh, well, anyway, the man out there that doesn't have his mic on, that would be world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute.
It wasn't on, dog. You look at me like I'm pointing for no reason.
To quote...
Now he's giving me gestures that are not appropriate.
Oh, my.
Sign language.
Well, anyway.
Glad to have you, Doc.
To quote the Looney Tunes, what's up, Doc?
Yeah. What's up, Doc? Oh, no.
Well, anyway,
he's ready to go to talk about Obamacare.
He is reeling. We're here with Dr. John Goodman, president of the Goodman Institute for Public Policy Research and author of the widely acclaimed new book, A Better Choice, Healthcare Solutions for America, a new book which offers alternatives to Obamacare. I'm excited to talk about this, so thank you for joining us, Dr. Goodman.
Glad to be with you.
Well, let me ask you, why do you think we need a better choice than Obamacare?
Oh my God, that question is really bad.
Hold on, let him answer. Let him answer.
It's open-ended.
Don't answer, Dr. Goodman. Tell her to repeat the question.
That's called a softball question.
Yeah,
indeed.
Well, we all know it stinks and it doesn't work. So maybe we need to know what are some of the alternatives, because we're dying to find out.
I think that the problem with the critics of Obamacare is they're not thinking clearly about what they want to replace it with. And that's why 5 years after this law passed, there's not a single Republican in Congress that can stand up and say, this is how the healthcare system should be different. You elect us, and this is what we'll do. So the critics of Obamacare have some work to do, and that's the reason I wrote the book.
Okay.
But in my view, we have suppressed the marketplace for 100 years in medicine. Year after year, decade after decade, so much so that nobody ever sees a real price for anything.
Sure.
And so we all have perverse incentives, and when we act on those incentives, we do things that make costs higher, quality lower, and access more difficult. And the goal of health reform should be to eliminate all the perverse incentives that government has created. So make government's role as small as possible, get rid of all the perverse incentives, and then let individual choice and markets do their thing.
Okay. Do you think that part of the problem with the politicians is they're not doctors? A lot of them have no medical background whatsoever.
No, it's not they're not doctors. It's they don't want to think about health care. This is on the Republican side now. They don't understand health care. They don't want to try to understand it. On the Democratic side, the problem is they don't believe in economic incentives. Republicans believe in economic incentives, but they don't know anything about health care.
Well, I think the major trouble is that they need a force that's going to put this healthcare in front of the country. And your book is probably one of the things that the people should read, so they can understand a little bit more how to correct these problems. But look at the situation with the illegals, the force that came on the political arena with Trump really brought to the surface the enormous amount of negation that they have in the Congress to try to really correct the problem. That's the type of a force that we need to correct the healthcare. And the only way that that's going to happen is if physicians, they get together and they say, we are not going to take any insurance and we're not going to work with anything of the government, and do it. And that power is in the hands of the doctors. The problem is they act the same as the Congress. They are cower on their approach. They don't do the things right, and then they complain. And every single day, they're in a worse situation, worse economical situation, more abuse of the insurance company. The insurance company are practically today dictating medical care.
Well, I don't think we can expect doctors to carry the whole load here, and I think we have to recognize that government has created incentives for us as individuals to give all our healthcare dollars to the insurance companies or to our employer or to the government and let them pay the medical bills. So doctors on their own are not going to change that, but patients need to understand that these third-party payers have crushed the marketplace, and that's why it doesn't work like other markets.
But also they're taking their money. I agree with you with that statement, but they're not getting the health care that they deserve. They're paying into a system that really isn't supporting their health care needs. Why do you think, Dr. Goodman, that other doctors aren't really standing up and being more outraged about this?
Well, the doctors who are members of Congress do not understand what I'm now talking about any better than the non-doctors. They understand medicine, but they don't understand health economics. They don't understand how government has screwed up this whole system. And you just have to spend some time with it. And then when you do, you'll see that we have a tax system that encourages us to be in employer plans where the insurance is not portable. It encourages us to give all the money to the third-party payer instead of health savings accounts.
Correct.
It encourages us to overinsure. And all of that means that third-party payers end up paying all the medical bills, and when that happens, we don't any of us see a real price for anything. So we need to turn that around. But the way you turn it around is not by telling people what to do. It's by getting rid of the perverse incentives that government has created.
Right.
But how you do that?
Oh, well, listen, I'm working with Pete Sessions right now on a bill which I hope will be the Republican alternative to Obamacare. Pete is head of the Rules Committee as the third-ranking Republican in the House.
Okay.
And I hope Marco Rubio, you all down in Florida, I hope Marco Rubio will sponsor the bill in the Senate. And we're going to try to undo all the bad stuff that's going on.
And what's the bill all about? Explain it a little bit, especially to the layperson.
Well, the way the government encourages us to buy health insurance now is that we have tax subsidies at work. We have these screwy subsidies in the exchange, and different people at the same income level get wildly different subsidies. We want to turn the government's role into just a tax credit for everybody, like the child credit. So it'd be about $2,500 for an adult or $8,000 for a family of four, and that's what you get. And it pays premiums, makes deposits to health savings account, and that replaces all this big mess that we've got, and it creates better incentives for everybody.
Dr. Goodman, though, assuming that you put your plan into effect, for the average family that has health care insurance, if they have a serious illness or catastrophic illness, they're bankrupt. And I don't know that your plan would eliminate that problem.
Well, they don't get their $8,000 unless they have catastrophic insurance. So that's part of that plan. It's like a child credit. You don't get $1,000 per child unless you have a child.
Right.
Well, with the health credit, you don't get $8,000 for a family unless you have health insurance. So that's part of the plan. It encourages everybody to have private insurance, but it doesn't tell them what they've got to buy. It allows them to choose plans that meet their needs instead of the government's needs. And it doesn't have these perverse incentives for insurers that we have now in the exchanges that are causing a race to the bottom with narrow networks that leave out all the good doctors and all the good hospitals.
Forgive me. When you're talking about these perverse incentives, do you mean the absolutely outrageous premiums that these people are being told they need to pay, which have gone up sometimes double, triple, almost quadruple what they had been paying before?
Yes, but again, that happens because why? Because the government tells you don't get any help from the government unless you buy one of these plans, and these plans have all kinds of benefits that you didn't want.
Correct.
And so therefore the deductibles are really high, and healthy people don't buy, and therefore the people who are in the system are
footing the bill.
The premium increases that you just mentioned.
Correct.
That's why it happens.
But for those of us who insure our families on a regular basis, the cost of the insurance continues to go up and the coverage continues to go down. So while we talk about a solution, no one's addressing that.
Well, we have to understand why that happens, because you're not in a real marketplace. You're in a marketplace dominated
by the politicians,
by government and employers and insurance companies. And the insurance companies, by the way, are a little better than the government. They're just one more bureaucracy.
Yes, they are.
If you want to see how healthcare could really work, look at all the parts of the system where the third-party payers are not. The cosmetic surgery, LASIK surgery, the walk-in clinics. I mean, this is in these areas you have real markets. You have posted prices. You know what you're going to pay. Prices are not going up; they're going down. So we know that markets can work in healthcare. There are very few areas where we allow it to happen.
Yeah. Well, also mention in there the AMA, who's representative about 15 to 17% of doctors having their own in with insurance companies, causing these premiums to skyrocket, increasing their salaries per year, and going against the grain, which was to be in support of health care for patients and the doctors.
The AMA sold the doctors out.
Absolutely.
Because it makes more money from its billing code than it makes from member dues.
Exactly.
And ARP sold the elderly out because it makes more money selling insurance than from member dues. And just about every special interest group that was involved in Obamacare sold the rest of us out because they had some special interest profit they expected to make. Hey, we've got to organize and come back and defeat these people next time around.
I agree with you. We have Dr. John Goodman, president of the Goodman Institute for Public Policy Research and author of the widely acclaimed new book, A Better Choice, Healthcare Solutions for America. Dr. Goodman, where can people find your book?
On Amazon or in bookstores.
Okay,
Excellent.
great.
Well, great. Good luck with the bill, and keep us posted on that. Obviously, we'll get you back on once you have it crafted and things like that, and we'll track the progress. Thank you, Dr. Goodman.
We'll do it, and thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Have a great day.
You're listening to American Medicine Today. If you or someone you know is suffering with neck, back, sciatic pain, RSD, fibromyalgia, reach out to Bonati at Bonati.com or 855-267-0483. Coming up after the break, we're going to hear what's new in American Medicine Today. Stay tuned. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for continuing to listen to American Medicine Today.
Why are you
I'm
laughing?
Kimberly Brumell, joined by an amazing group of men and another female.
What?
Behind the
Repeat
scenes,
that.
if we
She's
were
looking
going,
at me,
you're
Doc.
touching me, you're touching me,
I swear,
like little kids.
This is terrible. I have a pink ears.
Doc has pink headphones. Jeff's picking on Kimberly. I feel like the school marm here, trying to keep everybody on target of what we're
School
doing.
marm.
But that's because you're
She's
the
looking
adult
at me.
person here.
I'm the only adult in this room, apparently. Oh, Lord.
Well, anyway, so I'm joined by our executive radio producer, Ethan Euchre,
And school marm, Ethan Euchre.
senior fellow Jeff Wagstaff,
Junior, not senior.
Present and accounted for.
and world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine
Senior,
Institute.
not junior.
You are our senior fellow, our esteemed senior fellow.
Stop.
Let's look at what's new in medicine today, featuring Alfred Bonati, MD.
What's new, Doc?
Oh, what's new?
Yeah,
Insurance
all
companies.
kinds of stuff.
Well, just to be a little bit serious,
Okay.
the damage that the healthcare has in this country is amazing. It's amazing the change that happened in the healthcare
Yes.
in the last 2 years.
Yes.
not only we have the disaster of Obamacare walking in the middle and creating a tremendous amount of problem in the medical delivery of healthcare.
Sure.
But at the same time affecting a tremendous amount of pockets of patients.
Right.
Well, tighten your belt, because what's going to happen is going to change the system, because the insurance companies are so abusive. They are practically destroying the way that you receive healthcare today. And Cigna and Blue Cross and Blue Shield are affecting tremendously to the population of Florida. And one of the problems that's going to happen is doctors are going to start to walk out from insurance companies, and they're going to say, well, at least I'm going to do in my own system, and starting immediately. I'm not going to receive insurance companies. What I'm going to do is something very simple. I'll say, this is my price. This is what you need to pay from your pocket. And you go to the insurance company, we will file all your papers for you. You go and fight the insurance companies and let them pay you whatever they want to pay you.
Right.
And when they start to pay this enormous amount of differences of payments, the market is going to change.
Right.
Immediately are going to be thousands of patients calling the insurance company and blocking their phones, and they are going to be in a lot of problems.
Right.
And one of the problems is going to be that they need to respond to the people who bought the insurance from them.
Correct.
Doctors all over the country, they should do that. Get a price fix of what they need to do.
Sure.
And say, my price is $2. You pay me $2. If they pay you $1, then $1 is returned by the insurance company to them. But when that happens, that you need to pay the other $1, that's going to affect your life. It's going to affect your income. It's going to affect everything. So you're going to go to the insurance company. You're going to say, why I need to pay this when I hire you for that?
Well, that's the thing. I think you're probably going to say the same thing, Jeff. Insurance companies are practicing medicine. What gives them the background to be able to tell you whether or not the treatment you need is worthwhile?
That is because physicians are a bunch of cowards. Physicians do not fight, and still they are comfortable. And more than anybody, the physicians of primary care, they're pretty happy with Obamacare, because now they are loading of patients. And the insurance companies are also trying to send the patients to the family physician to sign that person needs to see a specialist.
Okay.
So becoming a very socialistic type of medicine.
Wait, but I don't think the doctors are really happy that they're getting inundated with these patients, because when the overflow of patients is coming through, it's at pennies on the dollar of what
they don't care.
Need.
The family physicians don't care. They hire 20 nurse practitioners, and they go and they play golf.
Sure, Jeff.
Dr. Bernardi, it's the folks on the show know I've been suffering over the course of the last month. I have suffered twice with the severe sinus infection.
Right.
When I go to my primary care physician, there are men and women in the office. There are more men and women in the office dealing with paperwork and insurance than dealing with the patients. So to take off on what you said, and frankly, I think it's brilliant. What if a primary care physician said, I'm not going to take any insurance. It's a cash basis business.
Exactly.
But wouldn't that drop the price dramatically?
What you need to do is you need to go to what America is. America is business.
Sure.
Okay, and medicine has a business component. And to be able to perform, you need to manage the business.
Right.
Now, if you don't manage the business, then you better close your office.
Right.
Now, if you want to deliver good health care, you cannot be distracted in creating a battalion of people fighting with insurance companies every single day.
Right.
What you do is you go to the patient and you say, look, my price is $20.
Correct.
Now, you pay me $20, and here are all the paperwork that the insurance company needs to reimburse you.
Right.
So when I give you that paperwork and you send to the insurance company, and the insurance company comes over, I'm going to pay you 50 cents, you're going to be so upset that the phone is going to be ringing every single minute in this company.
But do you
that
think...
would need to hire people to answer those phones. When that happens, you break the behavior of these individuals that they are paying themselves millions of dollars in rewards, and they're getting these companies multi-million dollars paying very little, taking every advantage from the patients and paying very little to the doctors. And the next thing that happens is doctors now are start to practice bad medicine.
But wait a minute. Would they, if they'd still have to battle it out with the insurance companies, what if the people that are paying premiums put away what they used to and they just made their own account,
their own savings
and had
account
it there so that they could pay cash? Why even deal with these stupid insurance companies?
Well, until you have a heart attack, then you're bankrupt.
But once you start to do this,
you get catastrophic.
No, catastrophic is not a problem. Catastrophic insurance is not a problem.
I don't know.
No, but if you go ahead and you manage the daily needs of the insurance, it's the same like happening in plastic surgery. When you go to a plastic surgeon, you don't go there and say, my insurance. They say, we don't take insurance.
Cash.
All right, well, we are out of time, but...
And that's a look at what's new in medicine today.
Any doctors here in Tampa that take cash? Let us know.
All right.
It's an exciting show, as always. Well, you're listening to American Medicine Today. If you or someone you know is suffering with neck, back, or sciatic pain, reach out to the Bonati Spine Institute, 855-267-0483, or visit Bonati.com. Tweet at Dr. Bonati or hashtag American Medicine Today, and make sure you watch us on WFTS ABC 28 Saturdays at 7 and on Bloomberg Saturdays and Sunday evenings. Check those local listings.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.